Hi, welcome to your practice. My name is Erica, and this practice will be a practice to build up some warmth and also feel that kind of flowy aspect of Pitta summer season. So it's warm, and yet we're also trying to go with the flow. So we'll try to balance those two kind of fire and water energies in this practice. So with that, we'll start on our backs in Shavasana. So I will ask Tortilla to join me here. I'm sure he will. You can have your furry friends join you as well. But the knees can be bent here if that's more comfortable for your back at this point in your practice, or the legs can be straight. And from here, let your arms relax a little away from the body. The eyes can flutter closed or stay soft. Again, this idea of softness, no sharp edges. And we'll allow for 3 breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we begin to arrive to our practice, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel the earth beneath you. One more. And then allow your breath to move in and out of your nose without any extra effort. Notice your body breathing. And create that gentle wave-like motion of the breath as the breath comes in and out. And we'll start to move with that wave of breath. So bend the knees, place the feet flat to the floor, arms down by your sides. And as you exhale, navel to spine, press into your feet. And as you inhale, gently lift the hips towards the sky into a gentle bridge pose. Exhale to lower. And inhale, press into the feet, squeeze the inner thighs, and lift the hips. A couple more rounds just like that. Move with your breath. This nice flowing movement. In through the nose and out through the nose. Nice. Last round here. And when you lift the hips again, you might not be able to see me with Tortilla giving me some attention, but the hips are lifted. You can shimmy the shoulder blades together a little bit more underneath you. Really press into the hands, press into the feet, but soften around your breath. So let your breath remain easy, even as you engage the muscles in this strong, steady posture. So steady like a rock in the river, and yet allowing the breath to flow like water around that rock. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lower the hips, widen the feet a little bit, and let the knees sway from side to side. And from here, we'll roll to one side, or you can rock and roll up and down the spine here. Ooh, and come on up to hands and knees. All right. As we have more and more doggy fur all over me here. All right. So on your hands and knees, I'm going to try to work Tortilla off to the side here. Go ahead and lay down, bud. Lay down. On your hands and knees, we'll start to take some gentle cat-cow. So inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, round the spine. So inhale, lift the heart, wave along the spine here. And then exhale, tuck the chin, spread the shoulder blades on your back. And you can stay here, waving up and down the spine, or you can start to kind of draw outside the lines here with the rib cage, circle in one direction. You can let the head and the hips, the shoulders move with you, and circle the other direction. Even soften around the edges of the eyes here. Then we'll come back to center, nice neutral spine. Place the left hand underneath the face. Sweep that right arm out to the side and up. And then dive that right arm behind the left. Look over your left shoulder. Legs stay steady as you inhale. Sweep that arm out, around, and up. And then exhale. Slide that right arm underneath the left. One more inhale. Reach up, twist. And then exhale and dive. We'll stay here for a few breaths. So you can stay with the chest more away from the floor, or if you'd like, you can start to bring the right shoulder and the right ear towards the floor. Let the front of the heart be open, back of the heart supported. Again, smooth, steady breath. Press down into that left hand, reach your right arm out to the side and up. And release. Right hand down, sweep that left arm out, around, and up. And then dive. Look over that right shoulder. Two more. Feel the suppleness of the spine as it twists around the axis here. Last one, and then we'll stay. So you can, again, stay a little bit more upright or start to bring that left ear, left shoulder towards the floor. Keep the hips high. You can bring this right hand wherever it's most supportive to you here. And then right hand presses down, sweep that left arm out to the side and up, and release the hands down. Walk the hands forward and keep walking them forward. Again, the hips stay high and the legs stay very steady, arms nice and straight. And Anahatasana, or puppy pose, as you start to let the heart soften and sink towards the floor. You may stay a little bit more upright. This may be enough of a stretch for you. Or you can start to allow the heart to soften towards the floor. Maybe the forehead touches a block or the earth. Press into the base of each finger, squeeze the inner thighs, low belly in and up, and then soften the heart here. And release. Press back up, walk your hands back about 12 inches or so. We'll tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. So you can begin to pedal through the feet here, okay, as I readjust the mic here. So you're in down dog, pedaling the feet. You can sway the hips. You can shake the head yes or no. You can try to remove some tortilla fur off of your mat. And then come back to center. Let's step our right foot just halfway or 3/4 of the way up your mat. You're going to stay on that left hand. Turn your toes to the right and reach that right arm to the sky. As you inhale, press the hips to the sky and reach this top arm over the ear, a little stretch. And then release hands to floor. Turn your toes forward and the back knee comes down. Press into the feet, inhale, wave up through the spine and through the arms, and then release the hands to the floor. Let's step back, downward facing dog or tabletop pose. Keep it moving here. And then as you're ready, look forward, step that left foot forward about half or 3/4 of the way up your mat. Turn your toes to the left and sweep your left arm to the sky. And then lift the hips a little higher as you arch to the side body. And turn the toes forward, release the hands down, downward facing dog. Keep it moving. Lift that right leg back and up this time. Step that right foot forward. Turn the toes to the right. You're on the knife edge of that back foot, reaching up. And then lift the hips a little higher as you arc and get a stretch through that right side body. Release. Take the back knee down. Inhale, lift the arms, the torso, and then release hands to the floor, downward facing dog. I think we forgot that lunge on the other side. That's okay. Inhale, sweep that left leg back and up. And left foot comes forward. Turn the toes to the left. Reach up through the left arm and then lift the hips a little higher. Sweep that left arm over the ear. Keep the breath smooth as you turn the toes forward, back knee down. Reach the arms towards the sky. And then hands to the floor, step up and forward fold. You can let the feet come a little wider than the hips here. Ragdoll. You can let the arms hang or grab opposite elbows. Again, a little sway, like some seagrass swaying in the water. And then release the hands, bend the knees, round up the spine, one vertebrae at a time, coming on up, mountain pose. From here, hands come to heart center. We'll take a bit of a mudra into the heart space, lotus mudra. So the pinky fingers and the thumbs stay together, but the middle three fingers widen apart into this flower-like shape, right? And so then bring the thumbs into the sternum, sternum into the thumbs. As you come to your mountain pose, steady and ready to give and to receive. Let your breath be easy. And then start to circle around the feet. Circle the body around the feet in one direction. Notice if you've chosen to go clockwise or counterclockwise, just interesting. And then switch directions, circling the other direction. And then find center over the feet. Shift your weight into your right foot. Draw that left knee in towards your chest. Rotate that knee out to the left and then place your left foot anywhere along the inner right thigh. So toes could stay on the floor here for your tree pose or move above or below the knee. So your choice here. Okay. And again, you will sway a little bit. Let the breath be easy. As you reach this lotus up and overhead, the elbows can stay bent. And then widen the arms to a T shape, palms face up, and rotate the shoulders, the heart away from that bent knee. Press down into that bottom foot, lift up through the heart. Come back through center, palms overhead, lotus mudra if you wish, and then release the hands to the heart. Knee tracks forward, and then shoot that left foot back, and back knee comes down. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, and then plant the hands to frame your front foot, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, rock forward to plank pose. Lower the knees, keep the hips high. Let's take puppy pose. Walk the hands forward, heart releases down. On your next breath in, walk the hands back. We'll step back to downward facing dog. Gaze back between the ankles or the knees so that the back of the neck stays long. And then from here, look forward, bend the knees, step, walk, or float towards the top of your mat and forward fold. Rise to stand, press into the feet, touch the sky, lotus mudra if you wish, and draw the thumbs into heart center. Again, circle around the feet, one direction, and then the other direction. And then find center as you press into your left foot, draw that right knee in towards the chest. Circle that knee out to the right and place that foot where you wish. You can use your hand to help you here. You can use the wall to help you as well. And hands come into heart center. Press down into your foot as much as you lift up through the heart and reach the arms overhead. And then release the arms to a T shape and rotate the shoulders away from that bent knee. Coming back through center, reach the arms overhead. Lotus mudra drifts back to the heart. Knee faces forward, and then bring that right foot way behind you, back knee comes down. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then plant the hands to the earth, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose on knees or toes. Lower the knees, walk the hands forward, lower the heart, the head, puppy pose. Inhale, walk the hands back about 6 to 8 inches, downward facing dog. You can always take tabletop pose if that's better for you today, if you would not like to have the head below the heart. And then look forward, bend the knees, step, walk, or float towards the top of your mat, and forward fold, release your head and neck. Rise to stand, float on up, arms reach up, and then hands draw to heart center, lotus mudra or prayer, your choice. Again, maybe circle around the feet in the awkward direction, the direction that doesn't come naturally. And then circle the other way. Nice. Hands to heart center. Take a step back with your right foot and open out to the wide edge of your mat. Straighten that front leg, sweep the arms out to a T. We'll take triangle pose. Press down into the feet, reach out over that left leg, and then this bottom hand comes above or below the knee, can also touch the floor, top arm to the sky. Now, triangle pose is inherently an angular pose. So where can we soften? Yes. So press down into the feet, lift up through the heart, and then soften the shoulders away from the ears, soften your gaze. Reach this top arm over the ear, lots of length on the right side, and then come on up. Keep sweeping up and back. Back hand to the back thigh, reach up with this left arm. Again, soften the backs of the knees like water running over rock. And then keep all of this length in the left side as you bend this front knee, right hand to your right hip. We're coming towards half moon pose. So I like to have a block. If you don't have one, that's okay. A book is great. The floor is great. Fingertips to the floor. Start to press down to lift that right foot up. Maybe reach this top arm to the sky. So again, some focus that's necessary. But where can we soften, right? So maybe the back of the neck lengthens, the breath softens. Beautiful. We're going to release into side angle pose. Bend that bottom knee. Send your back foot way back. Forearm, front forearm to thigh. Sweep that top arm over the ear. Rotate the heart skyward, maybe the gaze. And then from here, release the hands to frame your front foot. Downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank pose. Lower the knees. And walk the hands forward, heart descends. Anahatasana. Come on, back up, walk your hands back, downward facing dog. We'll take the other side. So lift your right leg back and up, and then step that right foot behind your right wrist, turn your back heel down, press on up to stand. Reach the arms out to a T. I'm going to turn to face you here. Arms out to a T, and then reach forward, lengthen, and this right hand comes above, below the knee, or to the floor, or a block. Top arm reaches to the sky. So again, lots of angles here, right? So again, where can we soften? Notice that your breath is breathing. And then press down to reach up. And keep going as you lean back, back hand to back thigh, sweep that top arm to the sky. You can look down if that's better for your neck, or out to the side. But as much as you press down to reach up, soften the shoulders, feel the heart lift. And now let's keep all of that length as we start to tilt forward again. Left hand to left hip, bend your front knee, reach forward of that front foot. Get your bearings. You might need to hop that back foot up a bit and then step up onto that right foot, right fingertips. This back foot can stay to the floor too. You don't need to lift it very high or even at all. Just testing the balance a bit. Maybe the top arm reaches for the sky. And shine in all directions, right? Let your breath keep flowing from head to toes, fingertips to fingertips. And we'll soften, bend that front knee, send your back foot way back, right forearm to right thigh, sweep that left arm up and over, side angle pose. From here, cartwheel the hands to frame your front foot, downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank pose. Lower the knees to the floor. Walk the hands forward. Strong legs, soft heart. Heart melting pose. And then walk the hands back. Lift the heart. Downward facing dog as you lift the hips. Nice. Look forward. Step, walker, float towards the top of your mat. And forward fold. Rise to stand. Touch the sky. Lotus mudra comes to heart center. Beautiful. Come back to your breath. You might even close the eyes. Feel yourself steady. And allow the breath to wave from the toes to the top of the head as you inhale. And from the top of the head down through the heels as you exhale. Hands come to heart center, standing at the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, lengthen, and simply step back to down dog or tabletop pose. Allow the knees to sink as slowly as you can, maybe taking 1 to 3 or more breaths. The knees settle to the earth. Untuck the toes, and we'll head back to child's pose. So hips towards your heels. Arms can stay more supportive and bent or more straight as the head relaxes towards the floor. A block is nice here if the floor is far away, no worries. It's time, breathe into the back of the heart space as you inhale. And feel the belly relax, the heart soften as you exhale. We'll transition onto our backs. So come onto hands and knees and then roll over onto the back here. Laying down on the earth where we began. Take a few more active bridge poses here as you bring the heels close to the seat and the arms down by the sides. You can shimmy the shoulders underneath you a bit further. Exhale, navel to spine, press the feet down, and then inhale, lift the hips towards the sky. This time we'll stay right away. So again, you might shimmy the shoulders underneath you, bring the hands a little closer together, or even clasp the hands underneath as you press into the outer edges of the arms, press into the feet, the back of the head. Okay, so again, a very steady, stable pose. Can you find a soft gaze, soft breath? And then release the hands, release the hips to the floor. Let the knees touch at center. And take a moment here. You're welcome, if it's in your practice, to practice wheel pose if you wish. Otherwise, we'll take another bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. As you set your feet, knees hip distance apart, Press down into the arms and the feet as you lift the hips. And again, your choice to shimmy the shoulders underneath you, maybe clasp the hands or the edges of your mat. And find stillness in the body. And let the awareness move to the flow of your breath. So notice if there are any catches in the breath or areas where it feels stuck. Can you find a way around? Allow the inhale and exhale to be smooth, even, and deep. Last inhale. And then exhale. Unwind, slowly lower back to the earth. Knees can touch at center. You're also welcome to sway the knees from side to side if you need a little movement. And then let's widen the arms away from the body. Widen the feet as wide as your mat and let the knees sway to the right. Watch out for any puppies or in your path, and let your gaze move to the left. You can soften or close the eyes here. Allow your belly to be soft. Turn the head to center, knees back to center, and let the knees sway to the left, gaze to the right. Come back to center, draw the knees into the chest. And we can rock and roll up and down the spine here, or simply roll to one side. We're going to make our way up to seated. This might be, as you find a seat, where you would like to have a blanket underneath the hips. Okay, you can see mine is otherwise occupied here, but feel free to grab a towel or a blanket. And then as you're ready, we sit up nice and tall and let the legs come out in front of us. Knees can be slightly bent, so there's a natural curve inward of the spine. As you reach the arms up and overhead, like you're carrying a bubble you don't want to pop, lift the heart skyward. And then exhale, lean forward. Heart stays lifted as you release the hands down. Feel free to stay more upright here if that gives you more space, more buoyancy, more ability to let the breath flow. Of course, if you wish, you can start to round. And the goal here is not so much the forward fold as a feeling of openness or spaciousness around the heart and also around the breath, right? So we want to make sure that the breath is finding a path within the body. And when you're ready, heart reaches forward, walk the hands back, come back to Dandasana, staff pose. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees come out wide. We want to avoid pressing the knees down and over rotating in the hip sockets, hip joints. So there's no need, if the knees are up here, that's perfectly fine and normal. You're welcome to take cushions or blocks underneath the knees if they're lifted a bit for more support. Again, the goal is more of a floating like quality through the spine, a flowing like quality through the breath. So inhale here, lift your heart, and you might stay here. This might be where you'd like to work today. Okay, great for working the postural muscles in the body along the spine. If you'd like, you can start to lean forward. Again, we're not pressing or forcing the knees in any certain position. We're turning inward on ourselves and allowing all that occupies us to settle. So find a place where you feel like you can settle. If you feel grip or tension anywhere, that may not be the version for you today. Okay. We'll be here for about 3 to 5 breaths. And as you're ready, reach the heart up and out to come on up. Draw the knees together and let the knees sway from side to side. Awesome. All right. You've made your way. You've earned your way back onto your back here. Not that you need to earn it, right? This is your practice. And then from here, a brief inversion. So there are lots of options. If you have a wall nearby, you can bring the legs up the wall. So I would bring my sit bones towards the wall and move my legs up the wall there. If you have a cushion or a block, okay, something firm but not too sharp, okay, you can bend the knees and lift the hips and slide that cushion or that block underneath the sacrum at the low back. And our goal here is to settle, allow the hips to feel supported, let your arms rest where they're comfortable. Find a comfortable spot for the head and the neck, and maybe let the eyes flutter closed. And in this more yin-like posture, the goal is to let go, to soften your effort. The breath becomes more and more quiet and smooth. And the yogis might say that the heat, the warmth that we've built up from the legs, our work with the legs, the hips, the standing postures, balancing postures, back bends, etc., starts to filter towards the heart to warm, soften, soothe, ease any tensions around the heart space, and even towards calming the mind. Just a few more moments here. You're welcome to pause this video. I highly recommend it, and remain in your bridge pose or your legs up the wall pose for as long as you like. When you're ready to move on, go ahead, and if you're with me, press the feet down and lift the hips just enough to slide that prop out of the way and settle the hips back down. And we'll begin to make our way towards our final relaxation. So it may be that you stay here with the knees touching in at center, knees bent. It may be that you lengthen the legs long on your practice space and let the feet flop open, arms away from the body, palms face up. And I'm going to come to seated here as you find your resting place. So take your time to find that spot where you feel supported and at ease, as if you can relax all muscular effort. And then when you're ready, gently close the eyes. Allow a few moments for sounds to come and go around you. And then allow those sounds to fade into the background as you come back to your body and notice that your body is breathing. Gradually release any effort. Allow the breath to breathe on its own, as it does for us every day, every moment. And you become the observer, the witness of your breath. 1 minute here. Now bring attention to the soles of your feet and soften the feet from the inside out. And soften around the ankles, the calves, and the shins. Again, the breath like water smoothing the rough edges of the rock. Soften the backs of your knees, the inner and outer thighs. Soften the glutes, the hips, the low belly. And watch as the belly gently rises and falls with your breath. Feel the mid-back, that space between the shoulder blades soften, backs of the shoulders, backs of the arms, the forearms, and backs of the hands out through the fingertips. Feel the front of the heart spacious and at ease. And lengthen along the sides of your neck and the front of the throat. Soften your jaw, the inner and outer ears, the temples, the eyes, the space between the eyebrows. And soften around the entire circumference of your head, the scalp. Allow your brain to be heavy in your skull. For the last minute here, feel your entire body finding rest. Let your breath be effortless. And allow your mind to ride that gentle wave of breath. 1 minute. If you have time, please remain. Allow 5 to 10 minutes for a complete relaxation. And when it's time for you to move on, if that's now, begin to deepen the breath slowly, come back slowly. Feel your life energy wave towards the toes and through the top of the head, out through the fingers. And begin to make some small movements. And take a moment to stretch and move. Eyes can remain closed. And as you're ready, roll to one side. And as you're resting on the side body, feel the unconditional support of the earth beneath you. Rest in that support. As we offer gratitude for our mind, our body, our breath, for our practice today, and our time together. And then as you're ready, press up to a tall seat. That could be on the floor or on props or in a chair. And as you sit up nice and tall, feel the sit bones and the legs grounded and the spine lift up through the top of the head. When you're ready, reach the arms wide and up overhead, touch the sky. And one final time, take that lotus mudra, pinky fingers and thumbs together, the middle 3 fingers widening into that flower shape. Draw in towards the heart. You might close the eyes again or gaze down towards your fingertips. And as we close our practice together today, may you rest in your firm foundation, ready to give and receive from your heart. Thank you for your practice today, my friends. You can blink the eyes open and return as you're ready. Thank you so much for practicing. Your practice matters. If you're interested in donating to the teachings, to these practices, there's information to do so. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Thank you so much.